Well, great afternoon. I wanted to give an update on my carnivore adventure. So what's happening? I went today. Last year I had severe anemia. My level of iron was 4. Okay. So today it is 91. So they released me and said I don't have to go back, that I'm within normal ranges, and bye-bye. Which I was happy to have, because last year, if you remember, I had to have iron transfusions. Okay. So the other thing that was going on, I went to my doctor's and she was concerned because I was having fatty liver. Now I had my blood work drawn the 28th of September, which is a couple weeks ago. And my AST was 61, and today it's 50. Still high, but it's going in the right direction. My ALT was 110, today it's 98, and that's in 2 weeks. Okay? So, all my labs are better. I reversed my type 2 diabetes. I no longer have to take metformin or anything. Now, how did I develop diabetes? I lived in India for 5 years in a town that was purely vegetarian, no meat allowed at all. And that's how I developed type 2 diabetes. Okay? So I know absolutely that vegetarianism can do it. It made me quite ill to develop type 2 diabetes. I had to take insulin shots, metformin, etc. And so that was really not wonderful. So what do I have to say about carnivore? Now I am getting more. I had backed off of it a bit and had been introducing some carbs and stuff, and fatty liver just went boom. So the thing I found out today with it is that I wanted to look up carnivore and fatty liver. And what did I find out? Eating meat does help cure fatty liver, but you have to let go of no grains, no sugars. That means no fruits, nothing that converts carbs that convert into sugar. Wheat, things like that convert to sugar. So all of that has to be left behind. And I know that that is absolutely the truth of it. So what do? I still have my coffee and stuff. What am I using? Mainly for sweetener. And the only thing I'm sweetening is my coffee. And what I use is just the pure monk fruit. I don't use Lancanto that's got all the erythritol and stuff in it. I did have that at first, and then I looked and said, oh my God, it's not monk fruit, it's mostly erythritol. I got rid of that and found the monk fruit, pure monk fruit, and that I have been using, and it is working fabulously for it. Now I do go and have my Dutch brothers. I will have a breve. This is my treat. I have a blended breve with sugar-free in it. Now, of course, they're not using monk fruit, but I don't have that often. I make sure it's sugar-free, but I wish it was monk fruit. But I figure once in a while, this is my guilty pleasure, okay? Instead of ice creams or instead of other things, I will have my blended breve, cold breve. So that makes a nice treat, which is working. I am still doing okay weight-wise now, but you know, the difficulty I'm having with it is the thyroid. My thyroid is way out of whack because they took it out. I have no thyroid. And the medication, I go see the doctor on Halloween. Yes, Halloween is my first doctor's appointment. I have to go to Alamogordo, way across the desert, to see this guy. And hopefully he's able to adjust my medication for the thyroid, and that will start clearing up that. But even with that, on the carnivore, I am not gaining a lot of weight. I was gaining weight when I was doing some carbs. Immediately, I gained 2-3 pounds a day on it. Carbs are not my friend, okay? So now I eat very rare meat with a lot of butter on it, butter in my coffee, butter on my meat, and I just rendered, I got at the store the other day, just pork fat, and I rendered it down and I use it for cooking. So you can get a big thing of pork fat for like 30 cents, 40 cents. You just render it down yourself and you got your lard, okay? And it's nice, fresh, and it's, you know, really good for cooking with. So that's what I'm using now. I am going to go get pork belly and have them cut that into bacon, bacon strips, so you don't have nitrates and you don't have sugars, because so many of the bacons have nitrates and sugars in it. Better to leave that off. So when I have burgers, usually I buy Schwab Brothers, and they use really good cuts of meat. It's they use chuck, and they use a number of other different areas of the beef, which make really good. It's it's not like having the regular hamburger, which I was not able to eat so well, but the Schwab Brothers, the Butcher's Blend is the one I get. Now they have 3 or 4 different ones. They have their signature, and they have Prime, I think it is, and they have one more. But I opt for the Butcher's Blend. And I am doing liver, okay? So I'm not having to, I wanted to see today what my iron was going to be. If it was still real low, I would have just really amped up the liver. But I'm in normal range now. So I will continue to have liver. Maybe once every week or 2 weeks, I will definitely have liver. And, but the rest of it is going well. And the puppies are now getting, they'll get a half a burger tonight. Today they had about this much of the steak, which I cut up and they got to have. And then it's supplemented with their dry food as well. But theirs is given to them raw. So I cut theirs off first before I cook mine, because they can have the fat if it's not cooked. So they get their stuff first, and I cook mine and eat it then. So that's what's going on with the carnivore journey. Everything that I was having wrong is getting reversed. Now, the doctor that I went to see today told me last time my iron level was dropping a bit after the transfusions, and he said, you have to go get a colonoscopy. You have to have a bleed somewhere. You don't just lose iron. Well, I'm proving him wrong, because my iron level has really gone up. You know, he also said that you can't have elevated liver with the thyroid difficulty. Well, that's wrong too. And I did tell him I'm on Carnivore. I was just waiting to see his eyes spin. I said I'm doing Carnivore, very rare, a lot of red meat, and so my iron level is good now, okay? So he just kind of looked at me askance. Like I said, he's got the bedside manner of a porcupine, you know. We have a definite difference of opinion. I can tell you that for sure. So I'm really happy that I don't have to see him ever again. So that's what's happening in my life on Carnivore. Like I said, a couple of weeks ago, I decided I was going to get serious about it, that I needed to get serious about it again. And within 2 weeks, my fatty liver things are definitely going down. And like I said, that difference is only within 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks, 2 weeks and a few days. Okay, so it does work. So I am convinced, and I'm over the hurdle now. Now, when you start the Carnivore, I had a really difficult time at first. And you have, as you're going through the journey, you'll have oxalates, toxins from oxalates that you're going to be releasing. And so on occasion, you may feel just like, because it stores in the fats. And when it starts releasing, again, you're just going to feel like the wreck of the Hespers. You're not going to feel well at all. Okay, but you got to stick with it. Or when you're just starting and you've been having sugar and you've been having carbs, and you know, the first few weeks, I can tell you, they're hell, because it's like going through detox. Okay, you're having withdrawals, and it's definitely not fun. Okay. But I have learned my lesson. I'm staying away from the fruit. I'm staying away from the baked goods. I'm staying away from all of that stuff, pastas, all of that. They are in my past. And I know that for me, I have to stick with Carnivore. And like I said, you know, I work with those that have Kundalini awakenings. For those that don't know, I am a Kundalini guru and have been since 1999. And I have always advocated to them the best way to ground is to have meat. Okay? And they have proven that over and over and over again. They come in with this idea that they have to be vegetarians, and they are just frying up. They're ungrounded. They're getting ill. They're having so many problems. They eat the meat, and they start to ground, and they're able to go forward on their journey. Now, I'm not telling them they have to be carnivores. You know, I'm not here to live their life. But I'm saying if you need to ground, the best way to ground is red meat, okay? And that helps to ground you really pretty quickly. instead of being in the ozones and spacey and that's not higher spirituality. That's just being ungrounded. So yeah, there are Buddhist traditions that do eat meat. The Dalai Lama eats meat, okay? And they say the Dalai Lama is Chenrezig, that he is, the Buddha, that he's a manifestation of the Buddha. Well, he eats meat. Buddha ate meat. In fact, he died from poisoning of pork meat. I don't know if it had been spoiled or if somebody had poisoned it, but that's how Buddha passed. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. And for those that don't know it, I have two spiritual names. My Buddhist name is Karma Sonam Wangmo. That means she who dedicates all her good deeds to the good of society. That's my Buddhist name in the Kali Chakra tradition. And my Hindu name is Gangapurti Kali Udamanandagiri. That means the bliss of the enlightenment of Kali. Now, who is Kali? Kali is Kundalini, okay? And that's why they continue to have goat sacrifices at the Kali Mandir, okay? There's a lot of things that go into it behind it. And my last name, Ganga Karmakar. Karmakar means iron worker. Iron working is sacred to Kali. Okay, so all of these things just fit together. They dovetail. Now, I don't talk a lot about being a guru or that, but those that are interested, I do have a number of books on Amazon. Kundalini from Hell to Heaven can be beneficial for really anybody going through a spiritual journey. So that's available through Amazon. Okay. And there are a number of other books. I think I have like 5 books out or 6 books, something like that. I don't know. They're just over there. And there is, my other one, Guru Swami Ji is my other. I had a YouTube channel. I don't check in on it so much, but if you're interested in Kundalini and interested in a lot more of that spiritual type things, you can also go on that channel and check all that out. So why am I doing tarot now? I think I really gave everything I could give when it comes to Kundalini and that spiritual journey. And tarot is just kind of fun. It gives another avenue to speak with people. So I'm not adverse, some people see that I do talk about spiritual things here as well. I started out in an esoteric Christian order, okay? So I have a background in Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, okay? I don't have a big background in the Quran, although I have had a Quran and have delved into it, but I have not read it cover to cover, and so I am not proficient in Muslim, the Muslim traditions, okay? So anyway, on that note, I'll leave that here, and we'll see you online.